46. They were married twice. They eloped in 45 and they married.
He came back in 45. I would call him a rapscallion. Wouldn't you call him that? When he met his mom, he wanted to impress her. And so he lived upstate in Woodridge. And there was a bridge. There was a...
Oh, that one, yeah.
And now we drove by there. We drove by where they had, and they put up a fence there, but he jumped off.
He was showing off.
He was showing off for her. Yeah.
Because my mother was from the Bronx, and she would come up with her mother
aunts.
And the aunts, and they would stay at one of the colonies. And then her mother was like, enough with this, and sent back to the Bronx with her. And my mother basically cried for about a week straight.
Until she sent her
And she
back.
called up her sister, Hilda, and said, I'm sending her back up to you.
Right.
And Hilda basically allowed whatever to take place took place. Their courtship, actually, because he had joined the army before December 7th, because he saw it was coming. So he had joined with two friends, one of them, and they were all from Woodridge. The other was Mitch Penchansky. What happened was that he could not make it as a pilot. But they go, you still want to fly? He goes, yeah, sure. Well, we got something even better for you. We got a plane without an engine. Great, not a problem.
Gliders, and he became a glider pilot.
He became a glider pilot. Meanwhile, when the war was over, the people that were served in the glider service had the highest rate of death of any branch of the service.
And Muriel his mother wouldn't marry him until he came back. She didn't want to be a war widow.
And basically, their courtship was all through V-mail.
And basically, they were up here, and he said, come on, let's get married. It was in Bethel. They got married in Bethel. And she had the marriage certificate, and she had the rings, and she put them in her pocket.
They lived with her family.
She lived with her parents. Her mother didn't know.
Her father was cool with everything.
Right.
And my mother's mother? No.
She picked up the coat, and the ring fell out, and she got hysterical, her mother. Oh, my God. And her sister said, why are you crying? This is a joyous thing. So that was in August 6th. And they had a Jewish wedding.
Big wedding.
In March. Yeah, he had some really good stories. And then he had the sad stories, too, like the concentration camp. It was horrible.
Especially being Jewish and liberating a camp. That's even worse. I will not feel at ease about this whole thing until the last one comes. And that's the reason why I say that this new group, the nurses, they're in a battle. And they're seeing the suffering and the death. What they're going through now is what my father and the fathers of other young people went through. It's a different war, but it's still a war. We started off talking about us being the first. I really want to be the last. I mean, who would ever think that 500,000 Americans would be gone now?
How have we managed? I mean...
You just do. You live.
Yeah. And I think because we take comfort knowing that he lived a really good life.
You know, if what we say helps other people who have gone through this, then we did okay.